The big question I keep asking myself about this video is whether to give away the central drama at the heart of the narrative. No, it's too important, too baked into the fundamentals of the film. The marketing deliberately doesn't give it away, so neither will I. What I will say is that the drama is like if David Lynch directed Marriage Story. Lynch was a pivotal American director who made experimental films on and off for a good 50 years until his death in 2025. His own brand of weirdness was so influential, it even got its own word. If a film was to be called Lynchian, it would describe the unnerving atmosphere and dreamlike space he created within his worlds. And it's safe to say that his legacy lives on through films like If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Begonia, and now The Drama. His energy and cinematic footprints are, to me, embedded in the drama's DNA. As you probably know, the film stars Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, but what you may not know is that it was written and directed by Kristoffer Borgli. He's a Norwegian guy who made a film that surprised me a couple years back called Dream Scenario, and what interests me is he's employed the same technique in both that film and the drama. Insert your big stars, set your expectations, and then shock the audience with some twists and turns. In 2023, Dream Scenario had Nick Cage doing what he does best as an unpredictable, potentially volatile leading man. He played Paul Matthews, a university professor who becomes a surprise superstar when he starts turning up in people's dreams overnight. The film was a fresh take on celebrity culture and the double-edged sword that being famous brings with it. Now, 2026's latest offering, The Drama, has two super famous co-leads, going against the grain in another fascinating way. The film itself follows the build-up to a marriage between Charlie and Emma, but when secrets get spilled along the way, everything gets put in jeopardy. What I admire about the drama is that it uses its platform to make a ballsy kind of film. Although it shouldn't shock me at this point that A24 is making dicey films, it's always a welcome surprise to see them create controversial movies that sit quite nicely out of the mainstream. After all, you can't please everyone, and as a film studio, A24 knows that and targets their niche by making risky stories their bread and butter. Without giving anything away, the drama tackles a very pressing topic as it zooms into cancel culture in a similar way to Dream Scenario's premise. However, the big difference is that instead of looking at the topic colliding with overnight fame, the director is magnifying what the experience is like for a couple of normal people. What does it feel like to have to reevaluate someone you love when given new information? Where do you go from there? These are two of the questions posed in the film that take it to some dark but also funny places. Overall, making for an entertaining time with two of the biggest actors on the scene. Speaking of which, the performances are pretty great. Robert Pattinson is allowed to let loose with his original British accent instead of the vocal witchcraft he usually pulls when morphing into an entirely new person. Then there's Zendaya, who is predictably good as well. Throughout the narrative, she juggles a mix of emotions that put her in a more vulnerable position than we're used to seeing her in, and makes for an interesting guessing game of what might happen next. I was continually left dumbfounded by the choices made, making it all riveting and quite surprising. But yeah, if you want to watch something that peers into cancel culture, performative judgment, and the flexibility of romance, then I'd recommend you watch The Drama. Overall, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching, I've been Never Hold Back, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!